That's a great gift for Barnsley Wells, great gift for Lemoyne-Owen. It also says a lot about who Lionel Hollins is to want to go over there and help out this young magician squad.
Duren wins the toss for the Tigers. They have the ball in their home white. Anthony Jordan, Owen Short, and Nathan Bemis, your officials for today's exhibition opener. Dandridge to a cutting Lester Quinones, who slams it down. Great look from the big guy.
Outstanding look by Malcolm Dandridge, and that's exactly what you want. You put him on the high post, you get Lester to cut, backside, easy dunk.
Tigers get a steal. Quinones to Dandridge. He tried to go over his back, make that Duren who tried to go over his back, and the Tigers turn it back over to Lemoyne. Again, a heartbreaker last year for the Magician players who did not get a chance to play last season. So it's been a while for this program. And there's an offensive foul. They'll call that one on Dejon Henderson. They call him Day-Day, 6'8", 300-pounder. He's a transfer from Tennessee State. He's out of Los Angeles, California. This roster is pretty interesting, Doc. They got 4 guys from Chicago, only 2 Memphians, and another player from DeSoto County. So not a lot of local players. We'll see if Bonzi goes more with the locals when he starts to really recruit.
And that is surprising because you would think Lemoyne-Owen being a local team, they would have more local players on their squad, but Lester doesn't care who is on the squad. He's going to drop a triple on them just like he just did. That's good to see for Lester Quinones early on in this ball game.
Lester Quinones 5, Lemoyne-Owen College 0, and Lester coming off a really good season where he shot the ball extremely well from downtown, shot 40% from 3 as Lemoyne-Owen steps out of bounds, an unforced error, and they give it right back to the Tigers. But 40% from three-point land for Lester last year. He went 44 of 110. He was on the 2021 NIT All-Tournament team. DeAndre Williams, great feed for Dandridge. And at the rim, defending was Jaquan Lawrence. He said, not this time.
And you got to give it up for Jaquan. Jaquan was like, no, Malcolm, you bigger than I am. You weigh more than me. But you go up, rise up, I'm going to rise up a little bit more than you.
Open 3. That one's money. That's Trevor Blackman out of Milwaukee, Wisconsin, the Southern University transfer.
And I saw Trevor in pregame, and he was hitting those shots.
In the meantime, Williams got behind the defense. He missed the bunny, and the Magicians want to run a bit, trailing by 2. Couple of minutes in on this Sunday afternoon. That'll be a kick on Dandridge. Alongside Doc Holliday, I'm Greg Gaston. So glad you could be with us here on ESPN+. We mentioned Lionel Hollins with Bonzi Wells. There's also a big connection between Bonzi and one of the Tigers' new assistant coaches, which we'll talk about in just a few moments. Foot on the line and a miss there by Lawrence and a rebound by Jalen Duren. Duren got it blocked from behind by Lawrence.
You got to like the way Lemoyne-Owen has played on these last couple of possessions on the defensive end. They're showing that they're not scared. They're not nervous at all.
Big block by Duren, but getting it right back, Lemoyne-Owen. And a second chance opportunity there. Ties the game up at 5, but you saw Duren's athleticism. Lomax nearly turned it over. Good double team by the Magicians. And Bonzi Wells will go to the bench for the first time. They'll bring in the freshman forward, Micah Evans.
But that's what Duren does. He's a shot blocker. If you get anywhere near the rim, he's going to swat it out of there. But I like the way Dejon stayed with it. Even though he got his shot block, he stayed in the play and was able to get an easy 2 points.
Lomax for Dandridge. A good delivery by Alo. Senior for the Tigers, one of their leaders. And Dandridge says he's feeling good. The knees feel really good for the first time in his career.
And he showed a lot of explosion. When I watched him at practice Thursday, Malcolm looks healthy, and he showed you right there, even though he did have a huge height advantage.
Dandridge gets the rebound. Excuse me. Lomax, another lead for Duren, and he slams that one down. Jalen Duren, the consensus top 5-star recruit, #1 prospect in the nation, according to Rivals. You won't see Emoni Bates today. We'll talk about that situation as the Tigers have a half-dozen players, make that 5 players who have not dressed for this game. And in the meantime, Gerard Wilson gets it down low. He scores and draws the foul.
Well, you can't be intimidated. And playing level, you don't go into a ball game expecting to lose, and right now he's playing with that oomph that you need. Mr. Gerard Wilson is showing the Memphis Tigers. I know y'all got a lot of hype, but I'm hyped as well.
There was Duren's dunk, And now changes for Penny Hardaway. He'll bring in his son, Jayden Hardaway, who has really improved under the tutelage of his father. But you're also going to see the Miami transfer, Earl Timberlake, who was banged up when he came to Memphis, but is now healthy and ready to help this team to new heights. And you're also going to get the freshman, Josh Minott. And boy, Josh Minott in some services is ranked to be, or is rated to be, a top 15 NBA selection if he came out early in the spring. How about that?
Well, Greg, if you look at him, you look at his height and you look at his length and you look at his athleticism, he can do a lot of good things. Like Lester is still doing a lot of good things by knocking down another triple.
Well, Quinones is certainly helping his stock for the next level. The junior guard out of Brentwood, New York, already has 8 points. Good defense by the Tigers. Quinones gets the steal. Timberlake leaves it for Lester, and he's hammered from behind. He'll shoot a couple free throws as Jaquan Lawrence commits the personal foul. Boy, the action fast and furious, as we would expect between the Tigers and Lemoyne-Owen. They've played preseason games, exhibition games in the past. 16:34. Make that 15:56 remaining in the first half. The Tigers lead the Magicians 12-7.
Meet Tempo.
4 minutes and change into the first half. Tigers lead Lemoyne-Owen by the count of 12-8. Rasheed Wallace, the NBA great, a member now of Penny Hardaway's staff, and Rasheed Wallace and Bonzi Wells have an incredible relationship. In fact, they're living together here in Memphis. They played together for 6 years in Portland. They are the best of friends, and I wonder if Rasheed gave him any information here leading into this game, some inside insight on the Tigers.
It doesn't matter, because if Lemoyne-Owen doesn't have the same kind of players that the Memphis Tigers have, he can tell him anything. But I love the fact that they're living together. I used to always wonder, because we always say big bank takes little bank. So who's paying the most bills? Who's paying the rent?
They also co-host a podcast with each other. It's called the Let's Get Technical podcast. And, of course, that's homage to Rasheed Wallace and all those technicals he got in the NBA. Bonzi, not as many, but Bonzi, of course, had a really nice career. Came out of Ball State. He was coaching at Muncie Central, which was his alma mater, is his alma mater, before getting this gig at Lemoyne-Owen, and he jumped all over it to get a chance to be a head coach in college basketball, albeit at the Division II level. Quinones makes 1 of 2. He now has 9 points, and the Tigers lead it by 5. Inside the arc. Tipped around by Lawrence, and here comes Memphis.
Good defense.
Tyler Harris in the game, as is this guy, John Camden, who misses on his first three-point attempt. Harris, of course, started his career at Memphis, went to Iowa State, did some good things for the Cyclones, but decided to come back to Memphis, and that'll be an offensive foul against Trevor Blackman. You may recall, just a few years ago, setting the Memphis freshman record was Tyler Harris with 79 three-pointers. At Iowa State, he averaged 7.5 points and was second on the team with 39 trifectas.
Well, Greg, we know Tyler can shoot it, but that's what I like to see, commitment on the defensive end, moving his feet, staying in front of his man, and because of that, he was able to draw an offensive foul. I'm pretty sure Coach Hardaway loves to see that from Mr. Harris as well.
Three fouls, rather, now on Lemoyne-Owen, 1 against the Tigers. Hardaway with the Euro step, and he'll draw the foul. Jayden, now a redshirt junior, out of Memphis, began his career at East, and then he moved on to IMG Academy for his postgraduate work. Did win a state championship at East, as did a lot of these players on the Tigers roster as far as championships when Penny was the head coach at East High School. Some of them multiple championships.
They did. But what I like to see right there is Jayden being aggressive. He didn't settle for the outside shot. He did drive and try to make something happen. I just love him showing that aggressiveness. And then we see his body has changed. He's bulked up even more.
1 for 2 for Jayden. It's 14-8. Guys, you will not see tonight the other blue chipper, the other 5-star recruit in this class. Emoni Bates will not go today. Again, nothing serious with any of these players, but both Lawsons, Jonathan, the freshman, Chandler, the transfer from Oregon, he will not play. Landers Nolley III, one of the top shooters in the American Conference, he won't go, and Nikc Merriweather as well. So 5 Tigers not dressed out for this game. A lot of contact. They're going to call a foul on the Tigers. That was a very aggressive Jaquan Lawrence, and he draws the foul, and that'll go against Tyler Harris.
Well, I think Tyler had the right idea. He was in the right position, but he was too close under the bucket. You got to give them a little space. You're in that area where they're not going to call a charge. That little smiley face right there, Greg, if you're below that little smiley face, it's just not going to happen. And right here, you can see he was right out above the smiley face, but I guess they said his feet wasn't posted and he wasn't steal.
Very close, though. Looked like he had position to me, and the first free throw by Lawrence bounces in and around and then out, and he'll get another opportunity. He's a senior out of Chicago. He's the best athlete on this Magicians team. He has a scar near his eye. I don't know if you can make it out. He got that while hitting his head on the rim, dunking during practice. That guy can sky, has a large vertical, and again, he is their best overall athlete. First point for Lawrence, 14-9 game. Timberlake, great feed to Minott. He lost the ball. And Timberlake from Miami is a really good passer. Has great court vision, and you saw that right there to the pass to the freshman Minott. Josh has some hops. He won the slam dunk competition during Memphis Madness.
He does have some. He's very athletic, but Lemoyne-Owen just great position, plays some great defense to keep him from coming down.
Timberlake gets it to Harris, thought about the three. Oh, great feed to Minott by Tyler Harris, who fills the lane.
Unselfish Tyler Harris. I'm pretty sure that's something also that Coach Hardaway likes to see, because normally Tyler would want to pull up and shoot that shot, but he looked for a cunning Minott, and Minott making himself available to make a good play at the rim.
Another turnover by the Magicians.
And you see Tyler, his first instance was to shoot it, but then he sees Minott, the freshman, having the wherewithal to cut to the basket, and Tyler giving it to him, getting an easy bucket, because the easy two is better than, shooting a hard three.
Camden turns around, a lot of contact, and they'll say out of bounds off the shot. Looked like a lot of contact from Dwight Murray, the senior guard, schooling the young freshman John Camden. Camden's going to be good. He's a real good shooter, and I know Penny's very excited about having him. Nearly a double dribble. And then on the screen, another offensive foul against the Magicians. They're starting to add up now. That is 5 against Lemoyne-Owen College. Tigers have only been whistled for a couple of fouls. So Duren will check back in. Dandridge is back in, as is Quinones. DeAndre Williams will take the ball out. What a difference maker DeAndre Williams was for this Tigers team last year after he transferred from Evansville. Was not eligible to play until December 16th, and the Tigers went 16-5 when he joined the team. Dandridge will draw the foul to shoot 2, but the impact of DeAndre Williams.
Well, he's just a tough player. Not only that, he's a vet. He knows how to play basketball, but he also provides that toughness and that intensity that any team needs, especially the Memphis Tigers. And you see how long and how tall he is, and he just knows how to play basketball. And right now, the way the Memphis Tigers are playing right now, they're taller and they're bigger than Lemoyne-Owen. So I love this philosophy. Throw it down low, because we have a huge height advantage. But I love DeAndre Williams and what he brings and what he can add to this squad even this year with all these great young players coming in.
Dandridge rattles in the first of 2. And Bonzi Wells goes to his bench. Clavon Hilliard will check in. And once again, Dijon Henderson, one of their starters who got a breather, is back on the floor. We are 6.5 in and haven't even mentioned Larry Brown, the legend, the Hall of Famer, who has also joined Penny Hardaway's staff, along with Rasheed Wallace and a holdover, of course, Cody Topper. Great athleticism there by Ayla. Looked like a defensive back on an interception.
Looked like Jalen Ramsey. He just didn't come down with the ball, but Ayla hustling. And you see the Memphis Tigers fans showing appreciation for his hustle and him knowing where the ball is and trying to come up with a pick.
But getting back to Larry Brown, this is a guy that Penny Hardaway wanted when he took over the job, wasn't able to get him, and now he's been able to do so. And a worldwide coach that has coached in the Olympics, has coached in the ABA, in the NBA, and has coached countless games and has won countless games, can only help Penny Hardaway with that wealth of experience and knowledge. Nice turnaround by Dijon Henderson.
I love that. Dijon Henderson showing a nice little low post gaming, putting his body on Duren, and a nice little mini jump hook. But Coach Brown, you're right, a plethora of experience. Great coaches normally have great assistant coaches, and Coach Penny Hardaway understands that. He got a great one with Coach Brown, getting him on his roster, on his staff.
Good cut by Dandridge and a nice kick to Quinones, and he hits another one. Lester is 3 for 3 from distance. And Quinones is lighting it up. 12 points now to lead the Tigers, and they force another turnover. That'll be number 8 against the Magicians. Tigers by 10, their first double-digit lead.
Greg, you know what I like for this three-pointer when you got Lester? He didn't rush it. Malcolm Dandridge kicks it out. He didn't rush the shot. He composed himself, gathered himself, and shot it in rhythm. And when Lester does that, he hits at a very high percentage of those three-point shots. And, oh, that was absolutely gorgeous for Mr. Alex Lomax.
A little dipsy-do from Alo going to reverse off the window. Lomax is the only, make that one of 2 seniors on the roster along with DeAndre Williams. Lomax nearly got the steal. It'll be the Magicians' ball as Trevor Blackman will check back in for Bonzi Wells' team.
But, Greg, going back to that play that Lomax just made, the quickness and the explosiveness he showed and making a decision to go to the rack, that's not an easy shot.
Not at all. That one was an easy shot. Dejon Henderson is a half dozen now for the Magicians.
I like Dejon Henderson. He has a big body. He has a soft touch as well, though. Reminds me of Oliver Miller a little bit. He's not as tall.
Not a bad comparison. Tigers turn it over. Magicians have the numbers. And Dandridge will be called for the foul. Tried to swat that one into the second or third row, but instead he hammered the Magician, and there'll be free throws for Clavon Hilliard. In the meantime, we have a timeout on the floor at FedEx Forum. 11:55 remaining in the first half. Exhibition game number 1 of 2 for the Tigers. They lead Lemoyne-Owen 23-13. Welcome back to FedEx Forum. The mighty Sound of the South. They're getting in their preseason workout as well, as the regular season opener is not too far down the road. Tigers lead Lemoyne-Owen in their first dress rehearsal, 23-13. Tigers shooting 62% from the field, and they've knocked down 3 of 4 threes for 75%. They've also forced 8 turnovers by the Magicians.
Hold on, Greg. You know the song that they're playing? That's Cameo. That's Word Up, man.
Oh, I knew that
Word
song.
Up. That's a nice beat right there.
What is the word up for the Tigers this year? I know the expectations we talked about in the outset, extremely high. They come in 12th ranked in the preseason. You would certainly think with the talent that they have on this team, if it all connects, if it all clicks, this is at least a second weekend team.
Well, the word up is championship. That's what Memphis Tigers basketball fans saying. The word up for them is championship. That's what they're expecting. NIT championship last season, #1 recruiting class, nice little mix of young players and veterans, and a nice coaching staff you have around. So Memphis Tigers basketball fans, they want championship, national championship.
Kenny says he wants all the smoke. Bring it to Memphis. They're ready. Hilliard hits 1 of 2 at the free throw line. Tigers lead is 9. Beautiful alley-oop feed from Alex Lomax to Jalen Duren, and another dunk for Duren.
That's the thing about it. Alex Lomax is probably the one true point guard on this basketball team, and that's what they need Alex Lomax to do. Set up, give it to everybody else, play unselfish basketball, and come up with steals right there and deflections.
Open 3 for Quinones. That's his first miss, but a putback by Malcolm Dandridge. Nobody boxed out the 6'9", 250-pound big man, and there's the 10th turnover now for Lemoyne-Owen. Duren misses. Another opportunity. Dandridge spins and scores. Malcolm Dandridge has 8 points, and Bonzi Wells needs a timeout. 29-14. The Tigers on a 6-0 run over the last 37 seconds. And remember, with Penny Hardaway, it's defense first.
Indeed, and you see here Alex Lomax being the point guard, feeding the youngster, Jalen Duren. That's exactly what you want Alo to do, and we know Jalen Duren knows how to finish around the bucket. And talking about Malcolm Dandridge, what Malcolm Dandridge is doing right now, he's just saying, you know what, I'm bigger than you. Coach Bonzi Wells, you can call the timeout, but after your timeout, guess what? I'm still bigger than you. So I know Bonzi is trying to calm down this Lemoyne-Owen Magician squad, but the fact of the matter is Memphis Tigers, not only are they taller, they're longer, they're more athletic, and it's just something Lemoyne-Owen has to deal with.
Tigers have scored 13 points off the 10 Magician turnovers. And remember, there is still battles going on in practice, today, next Sunday, in the second and final exhibition game, to get into Penny Hardaway's good graces into a rotation that he says will only go as deep as 9 or 10. Now, there could be games where there's blowouts and everybody gets a chance, but you're talking about 9 or 10 in the rotation, and there's a lot of guys who can play big-time Division I basketball, so those battles are going on every single day.
And you just said it, Greg, getting to Coach Penny Hardaway's good graces, and you know how you do that? With effort and playing good defense and playing unselfish basketball, and that's what you're seeing for a lot of players on the court right now.
Henderson off the mark there, and DeAndre Williams gets the rebound. Earl Timberlake back on the floor. He has the ball. Williams for three. Got it. Only the second shot attempted by DeAndre Williams, and he drills it.
That's a good shot for DeAndre. That's really not his shot, and his release and his shot is a little unorthodox, but I love to see it go down, and I love to see him have the confidence to take that shot, just like he had the confidence to take that rock, and Alo feeding it up.
Wow. Duren, the putback. And it all started with Alo stripping his defender at half court, causing the turnover, and the Tigers get an easy two.
And you can see how invaluable Alo is. That's just how he plays.
Duren now with a half dozen. Alo to Duren, and he is fouled as Jaquan Lawrence grabs his arm. And now Duren to the floor, maybe a little exhausted. So you won't see the Bates-Duren combination today. You may see it, and more than likely you will see it next Sunday when the Tigers are back here at FedEx Forum to take on Lane College. That's Andre Turner's team, the former Tiger great. That'll be a 1 o'clock start. We'll have it for you here on ESPN+. But there is the connection with Duren and Bates, obviously having played together with team final during the summer in the EYBL circuit. And that's why when Duren committed to Memphis, he went full court press to get Emoni Bates to come here, and Emoni Bates followed him to Memphis.
And you have two great gets. If the Tigers would have just gotten Duren by himself, that would have been a great get. But then to get Duren, then to get Emoni Bates, both of them number 1 and number 2 in their classes, respectively, just a huge recruiting effort by Coach Penny Hardaway and his staff.
And now the freshman Sam Onu checks into the game. Another one of the bigs as Duren hits 1 of 2. He now has 7. Sam Onu. Interesting story we'll talk about. 6'11", 270-pounder who at a time for a while there lived with John Camden in Philadelphia. Although they went to different schools, Sam, a 4-star prospect by rivals, married his wife Dominique, is a player at UCLA. They got married in April 2021. So how about that with Sam Onu?
Congratulations, freshman. Congratulations, young man. Going to college and you're going to, a marriage. So it's good to see him out here, and he is a big body. And I watched him practice on Thursday. Not only is Sam Onu a big body, but he's light on his feet. He has real good feet, so he provides some things. It may be tough for him to get some playing time with Jalen Duren and Malcolm Dandridge, but it's good to see him get into games like this and get some experience and show what he can do.
Over the back foul down at the other end. 8 fouls now for Lemoyne-Owen. So the Tigers in the bonus as Duren goes to the free throw line. And Duren misses the front end of the 1-and-1. Corner 3, that one's short as Blackman pulls the trigger. And once again, the Tigers get a rebound. They're looking to push it right up the court. Oh, great no-look by Timberlake, but Onu may not have been ready for it. And that's going to be an offensive foul on Timberlake. Good defense there as they double-teamed him. Andrew Anderson, the senior guard, came over and helped on defense. So 14 fouls now against the Tigers, 8 against the Magicians. 9:12 remaining in half number 1. Tigers lead the Magicians 35-14. Alongside Doc Holliday, I'm Greg Gaston. So glad you could spend some of your Sunday with us today. Another steal for the Tigers, but they nearly gave it right back. Hardaway off the window. And Jayden Hardaway is his first bucket. 3 total points for the Tigers.
Great effort by Jayden Hardaway. Just great effort by the Memphis Tigers so far on the defensive end. And Jayden going to the left hand, making sure there is absolutely no chance you were going to block that shot.
Magicians playing the Southern Intercollegiate Athletic Conference. Again, did not play at all last year because of COVID restrictions. So they are back after a year hiatus. Dejon got fouled. And Dejon Henderson will go to the free throw line to shoot 2.
Telling you, Greg, Dejon Henderson has some very good feet. He's quick, nice little pivot move, nice little quick move to the bucket. He's a problem if they keep giving him the ball because he's had some success so far. And I love the way that Dejon, he's out there. He's not afraid.
I'll give you another one. You said Oliver Miller comparison earlier. Glenn Big Baby Davis.
Glenn Big Baby. And, you know, he looks more like Glenn Big Baby Davis because Big O was taller than him. So he is in that mold of both of them, and both of them have real good hands and they have real good feet. And Dejon Henderson has real good hands and he has real good feet.
And a good stroke from the free throw line as he knocks in the first. Tariq Shepard will check in for Lemoyne-Owen. The Tigers make some changes as well. Josh Minott back in, gives Jalen Duren a breather. Duren with 7 points, couple of rebounds for the Tigers. And 1 for 2 for the big guy. Hardaway for 3. Got it. Good-looking stroke from Jayden Hardaway.
Beautiful stroke by Jayden Hardaway, and a good look by Tyler Harris as well. A little mini pressure. Mini drive into the paint, hits a wide open Jayden, and Jayden hitting it in rhythm.
Jayden played in all 28 games last year for the Tigers. Averaged 10 minutes per game, got 5 starts as well. 12 now on the shot clock. The floater off the mark by Anderson, and here comes Memphis. Really haven't had to bring up the words shot clock in this game as Harris stepped on the sideline. And that one won't count. Tigers by 25 points as we will head to a timeout. 7:48 remaining in half number 1. Memphis leads Lemoyne-Owen by 25. 17-1 run for the Tigers over the last 3:55. They've knocked down their last 3 field goals and lead it by 25 points. I had a chance to talk to the legend Larry Brown before the game about this team, and obviously the sky's the limit, but they're taking it slowly but surely. As I asked Larry about the sets that have been already implemented in the game plan, he said we're not putting a lot in. We got a lot of young players right now. We don't want to blow their fuses with too many things, so we're taking it easy. Obviously the defense has been the staple, and there's Coach Brown, has been a staple of Penny since he arrived here in Memphis, and that's always going to be first and foremost. But offensively, not a lot has been implemented yet, but it will as the season progresses.
That's a smart thing to do. You don't want to throw a lot at a lot of young players, especially young players with great athletic ability and great things they can do on the defensive end, like Josh Minott just did, giving up to Tyler Harris. Unfortunately, Tyler missing the layup, but that's what you want to do with a young squad. You don't want to throw too much at them at one time.
In and out for Micah Evans, and here comes Memphis. You mentioned Josh Minott. He just jumped the lane on that pass from Lemoyne-Owen to get the steal. That's 13 turnovers now against the Magicians, but Josh Minott's going to be a fun player to watch as his career progresses at Memphis. And a nice delivery by Tyler Harris to Sam Onu.
Another great pass by Tyler Harris. Tyler is playing basically the true point guard role, and you see Josh Minott again with those long arms and anticipation, just able to pick that ball apart.
That pass at the back of Tariq Shepard's head as Memphis turns it right back over. 5 turnovers now for the Tigers. Approaching 6.5 to play in the first half. All Memphis, as you would imagine, and we got an offensive foul that'll be called against Trevor Blackman. So again, if you're just tuning in, you'll have to wait to see the debut of Emoni Bates. He is not dressed out. Neither Lawson is dressed out. Chandler and Jonathan. Also, Landers Nolley III. Nothing serious, by the way, but they're not playing today. Nikc Merriweather also not dressed out. So that's a lot of firepower that is not able to play today for Memphis.
Well, Coach Hardaway wants the anticipation to continue to build. He's going to give you Jalen Duren in his first game. Maybe he'll give you Emoni Bates in the next game, exhibition game against Lane College. But people are going to have to wait to see the entire ensemble of Memphis Tigers. And you have to wait to see the bully ball that Malcolm Dandridge just played. Even though he lost, he missed that pass. He's still showing the height advantage and him just being aggressive on the offensive side.
So you're telling me there's strategy to this from Penny Hardaway?
Possibly. You know, why else wouldn't Emoni play today?
Why not? Beautiful feed to Malcolm Dandridge, the trailer, who slams it down, and that's 10 now for Dandridge, and a great feed from Josh Minott.
Well, Greg, you know you're dunking pretty hard when you automatically know you got to get your own face out of the way. And that's what Malcolm Dandridge just did. He threw that ball down so hard. But it's good to see the explosiveness. Once again, another great look by Josh Minott and Malcolm Dandridge, showing you that up that he has always had, and that's a great thing to see Malcolm getting up and down the court like that and getting up and getting vertical like that.
Another timeout called by Bonzi Wells as the Tigers lead 44-15. So last year was a really strong finish by the Tigers. They ended up going 20-8 overall. Remember, just 28 games were played, as we didn't have the full season because of COVID, because of restrictions. Things had to be scheduled at the drop of a hat. But this year, fingers crossed that we have a full, complete season. The Tigers were 11-4 in the American Conference, and they gave it a great run. Those two battles with Houston at the end of the regular season, if they went the other way, and they easily could have, maybe the Tigers would have been in the big dance. Instead, they go into the NIT. They're not pouting. They go in there, and they win the darn thing.
Yeah, I mean, it's a very successful season. Of course, we would want to go to the NCAA tournament and win, but going to the NIT and going through and playing tough basketball like they did and coming out with championships, I mean, that's always a good thing because you have two champions at the end of the season, the NCAA champion and the NIT champion. So with the NIT champion, and those players and these players are happy to see that, to put that championship banner on them.
Charles Maxwell was fouled on the play. He'll go to the free throw line, the 6'4", 210-pounder. He's from Hernando, Mississippi. I mentioned it earlier. There's only two Memphians on this Lemoyne-Owen roster, and then you have Charles Maxwell from nearby Hernando, Mississippi.
And I'm sure Mr. Maxwell has a lot of family here as well, because Hernando is just a small little drive down Interstate 55. So I'm pretty sure his family is there, and he wants to play well in front of them. But as you said, it is surprising that Lemoyne-Owen only has two players from Memphis on the squad, but I'm pretty sure that's something Bonzi and Coach Hollins is going to try to change.
Second one rattles out for Maxwell. He goes 1 of 2. William Anderson, who's the athletics director and hired Bonzi Wells as the former head coach of this program. And look, they have had a really darn good history. They've had seasons where they have been right there in the mix for a national championship, and I think they've actually won one as well. So certainly Lemoyne-Owen. Oh, Malcolm Dandridge, he's just a monster today. They have nobody physically other than DeJohn Henderson, who's not on the floor, that can even contest Malcolm Dandridge down low.
Well, Greg Gaston, that was disrespectful by Malcolm Dandridge. I'm pretty sure the Memphis Tigers, that was just disrespectful, but that's what you have to do when you have a height advantage, you have an athleticism advantage. You got to take advantage of it, and Malcolm Dandridge has did some very disrespectful stuff, but Memphis Tigers basketball fans won't think so.
There's an air ball to be Memphis basketball. Yeah, going back to 2000.
And here it is. I mean, you just turn around, nice little move, and the disrespect.
Maxwell, no chance to stop that locomotive. But in 2000, Lemoyne-Owen won the SIAC title with the help of the father of one of their players on the current roster, and that's Jalen Fisher, who we may not see today. But the 5'10" sophomore guard has a lot of connections to Memphis. And they called Duren for shuffling his feet. Or no, they called him for an offensive foul. He got the arm out, so it was extended. Offensive foul. That is 7 against Memphis. Next foul, by the way, on Lemoyne-Owen, put the Tigers in the double bonus. But Jalen Fisher, who's from here, played 2 seasons at Cordova with Tyler Harris. Then he moved to Michigan as the Tigers turned Lemoyne-Owen over again. He stayed with his aunt. Oh, Minott, who's a great dunker, did not get much vertical on that one. And down at the other end, it'll be Tariq Shepard to the free throw line after he is fouled. But let me get back to this story, because it's a great story with Jalen Fisher. So he plays 2 seasons at Cordova with Tyler Harris. He moves to Michigan. He has an auntie up there, stays with her, and plays at Ypsilanti Lincoln. Who did he play with as a senior? A freshman by the name of Emoni Bates. And they won a state title. So there's all kinds of connections here.
And guess who hit the game-winning shot in that state championship game? Jalen Fisher.
Unbelievable.
Unbelievable. Yeah, all kinds of connections, and I'm pretty sure Jalen is good to see his, because Emoni was a freshman. He was a senior. Emoni was a star player. Actually, Emoni been a star since the age of 12. I can't imagine having that kind of pressure and spotlight on me since the age of 12 years old. But Jalen is here playing against, well, he's not playing right now, but seeing his old teammate and them winning a state championship, that carries a lot of weight.
I'm sure there was a lot of conversation before the game, and will be some after the game as well. But yeah, Bates has been in the spotlight nationally for a long time. He was on the cover of the Sports Illustrated publication at the age of 15, for goodness sakes. Duren had it altered, that shot. Minott got it back. Quinones to Duren. I thought he overthrew him, Doc. That was some great vertical there by Jalen Duren.
I don't really think you can overthrow Jalen Duren. He's just extremely explosive. His vertical is unreal. Watching him practice on Thursday, he was doing this consistently, and the players were just throwing it up to him, and he's able to go get it.
Magicians have missed their last 7 from the field and have hit only 2 of their last 11. See if they can knock one down here. They can. Sweet 3 from the corner by Tariq Shepard. Guy out of Detroit, Michigan, had some D1 offers. Ended up at Lemoyne-Owen here in Memphis. 5 now for Shepard. It's a 48-20 Tigers lead. Here's Camden. That's the stroke that's really going to help pay dividends for the Tigers from the outside. They have some legitimate shooters with Landers Nolley, Lester Quinones, and throw John Camden into that mix.
And that's what this Memphis Tigers basketball team need. They need someone who can catch, release, shoot it, and knock it down. And if John Camden can add that, that's a whole nother avenue that the Memphis Tigers can explore, and a weapon they can use.
Timeout on the floor at FedEx Forum. Tigers basketball when we return. 3 minutes, 11 seconds remaining before halftime. Memphis by 31. Welcome back to FedEx Forum. During the break, they actually added a point to Lemoyne-Owen's total, so it's a 30-point lead for the Tigers, 51-21.
I mean, it's just beautiful. I mean, when you have a player, you can just throw it up there. It doesn't matter how high you throw it. They can go get it. Jalen Duren is just one of those types of players, and I'm pretty sure players like Lester and the rest of these guards, they know just feed the big man. Just feed him. You ain't got to put it right on his plate, Greg Gaston. You can put it on the side. He's going to go get it in. Duren just has that kind of monster athletic ability.
For guys like Alo, for Emoni Bates when he plays, for Jonathan Lawson, other guys will have the ball in their hand. Tyler Harris, it's great to know you have a guy like Duren with his athleticism down deep where you can throw it up and he can just finish.
Indeed, those are big facts. Duren is just a young Royal with just amazing athletic ability.
Camden, another 3. Boy, the Tigers are shooting the lights out, and this is without Landers Nolley. They are now 6 of 8 from distance.
That's a good-looking shot, Greg Gaston. Camden to shoot that ball and shoot it in rhythm like that, he has a very, very nice stroke.
Make it 7 of 9 for the Tigers from 3. Minott off a great feed from Lomax, who now has 5 assists. As Josh finishes, he now has 4. And another turnover by the Magicians. That is, unfortunately for them, number 19 here in the first half.
I mean, just look at this athleticism. You go toward the front of the rack, switch to the left hand, put a nice little lefty lay in, and you know what we're saying? This is the part of the game what you call inevitable, Greg. This is the inevitable part of the game. Still in the first half, but this is inevitable.
Camden, DeAndre Williams, Duren, Lomax, Timberlake on the floor for Memphis, and Lemoyne-Owen goes into a zone, 2-3 zone. Timberlake loses control, but it goes right to Duren, and he hammers it down. 11 now for Jalen Duren.
I mean, what can you say that we haven't already said? I mean, if he gets the ball anywhere near the rim, might as well just move out of his way.
Boy, Williams hit the floor hard. He doesn't know any other speed than ultra speed. He is like the Tasmanian devil out there on the court for the Tigers.
That's good because it's contagious. Anytime you have that and you see Timberlake trying to force something, but he ends up getting it to Jalen Duren, and Duren does what he does. Reverse dunk, makes it look easy.
Lemoyne-Owen turns it over once again, and now they're kind of finger pointing a little bit, talking to each other. And this is a team getting used to playing basketball again, getting used to their newcomers. They didn't play it all last year, getting used to a new coach and coaching staff. Again, Lionel Hollins will be a volunteer assistant. To have a guy like Lionel Hollins on the bench for Bonzi Wells is going to pay dividends, but you got to give it time.
You have to, and just think about it. I think they only have 3 players that played on the squad 2 years ago when the last time they played. So it's a new coach, a bunch of new players trying to mesh together, and as you said, trying to get used to playing competitive basketball again. It's going to take some time, but I like Bonzi Wells. I like what he brings, and I like his mind. So he's going to eventually get them to playing well, but they're overmatched in this ball game. So
you saw that shot by Duren. He has that shot. That's in his arsenal. Lomax with the strip with 17 on the shot clock. Again, I haven't had to say they're getting down to the final seconds of a shot clock on any possession in this game. These teams are offensive-minded today for certain. The Tigers, of course, we know they build themselves on their defense, and they've only given up 21 points. Wilson with the ball, 7 on the shot clock, and a great feed by Wilson to the cutting Jaquan Lawrence for his first bucket.
And he showed you those hops that you were talking about. He almost cut his eye again, hitting his head on the rim. He has some major hops, and I just love his athleticism and to come back on the other end and to draw a foul on the freshman Duren. That's something Duren, fans may not like it, but I think it was the right call.
Tried to go Euro step there, but there was a lot of contact, and I believe he was outside of the penalty arc. There's the dunk. Yeah, he got up there, didn't he?
Pogo stick. That's what I call pogo stick. Got on the pogo stick.
Duren with his second personal. Both teams with 9 team fouls here in the first half. The guy they call Day-Day with the basketball is triple teamed and trying to throw it to Lawrence, knocked out of bounds by Josh Minott. We haven't seen Quinones after maybe the first 10 minutes of the first half, and all he did was knock down 3 threes. He went for 12. I wonder if he'll see the floor again today. Under a minute to play in the first half. Tigers by 35. 7 on the shot clock. Williams tried to block it. He did alter it, though, and that'll be out of bounds.
But Greg, you know what? I just saw something from the Memphis Tigers right there. Earl Timberlake. Communication. You have to talk on the defensive side, and he told him to switch. And when he switched, he's able to get on him, make him arc that ball up so high that it goes over the backboard. So communication is key, and I know that's something Coach Hardaway is stressing, to communicate on the defensive side of the basketball court.
Penny Hardaway calls for a 30-second timeout with 44.5 to go in the first half. Draw out something here. And again, the score is relative. Nobody expected Lemoyne-Owen to come in here and beat this talented Memphis team, but it's two teams working on things to get ready for the season. And again, Memphis will play next Sunday back here at FedEx Forum in their second and final exhibition game as they'll take on Lane College first-year head coach Andre Turner, the little general. So I love how Penny has reached out to the local schools, reached out to his buddy Andre Turner to have them come in to play these exhibition games. It's very, very important for them. We'll have that game for you as well on ESPN+.
And giving them a check, some money to come,
exactly,
to help with the program. So that's very good by Penny Hardaway and the Memphis Athletics Department.
Yeah, financially, that's the most important thing for them. So Timberlake running the point here with 15 on the shot clock. Goes up, misses the shot, and then a steal down at the other end. Just a bad outlet pass by Henderson, so the Tigers can work for the final shot. Play clock is off, 13 on the game. Lomax a little too much dribble. He may have gotten away with a double dribble there. Timberlake, that's off Lemoyne-Owen. It will be Memphis basketball, 2.5 seconds to go. Kind of a discombobulated sequence there for Memphis, but they've been pretty darn smooth so far in this first half. Lomax going to have to heave, and he does from 3. Nearly got it to go. Front rim, but off the mark. And Memphis with a really strong first half. They shot 57% from the field, but they hit 7 of 9 from 3. And that's a sight that I'm sure Tiger fans love to see. The Tigers hitting those outside shots. 21 turnovers by Lemoyne-Owen resulted in 23 points for the Tigers. It's the Tigers at the half. They lead it by 35 points. Both the Tigers and the Magicians back on the floor as we get set for second half action in this exhibition opener. Memphis leading 58-23 alongside Doc Holliday. I'm Greg Gaston. Thank you for tuning in. We're back again next Sunday, 1 o'clock on ESPN Plus as the Tigers will play Lane College. And that'll be it for the preseason as they'll get ready to start what should be a really exciting year with a lot of high prospects. And again, Lane College coached by the former Tiger great, the little general, Andre Turner. Well, we looked at the first half numbers a few minutes ago. 9 different Tigers, Doc, scored in the first half. The only 2 that played that did not score, Earl Timberlake, Tyler Harris, even though they both were great distributing the ball, they both shot the ball only 1 time. So that's 11 guys. There are 5 guys, 4 prominent players that aren't even dressed out. As we talked about, the Lawsons, Chandler, Jonathan, they are not playing today. Landers Nolley, first team all AAC preseason. He's not playing today. And, of course, the 5-star recruit, Emoni Bates. That just tells you how deep this Tigers team is. Yeah,
deep and talented. To be missing those players and not be able to, play in this ball game and still have a huge lead. And you're looking at it, Landers Nolley II. He's one of those glue players, a very good player that he's not playing. Jalen Duren, we know about him. Emoni Bates. But DeAndre Williams and Landers Nolley are those vets coming back who've already proved that they can play on this level, and we have those other 2 young players coming in who are definitely going to play on the other level. So, I mean, just seeing how they have come out, how Memphis have come out here and been dominant, missing those players, it says a lot.
Well, we just showed you the graphic with 4 Tigers on the AAC preseason teams, 2 on the first team, 2 on the second team. One name noticeably absent is Lester Quinones. I guarantee you that guy's got a chip on his shoulder to have an incredible year. He's only a junior. He has all the talent in the world, and he had a great first half. But that's a guy to keep an eye on for this season, Lester Quinones. Right off the bat, Lemoyne-Owen turns it over again. During the rebound, had it blocked. Another opportunity. And now Lomax will slow it down.
But I like that play from Jaquan Lawrence right there. He took it to the freshman and told the freshman Duren to get that up out of here.
There it is, Quinones. That's the guy. Circle that name. Lester Quinones with his 4th triple of the game. The Tigers are 8 of 11 from distance, and Quinones leads all scorers with 15.
I wonder what kind of guitar Lester's playing. Because he's definitely not playing a banjo. Because the string music is very, very nice today.
Doc, he's rock and roll. He's rock and roll? Absolutely.
What about blues? He's not blues?
Blues is too slow for basketball. You got to rock and roll. Blackman missed the shot down at the other end. Now the Tigers with the basketball. Dandridge had a very productive first half. Good pump fake, and he goes to the left hand, Doc.
Well, first of all, Greg Gaston, Malcolm Dandridge gets the ball on the low post. He faces up his defender, shows some nice little footwork, then goes with the pivot, spin, pump fake, easy bucket. Nice little show of some athletic ability with some skills by Big Dandridge right there.
Yeah, Dandridge now with 14 points to go along with 4 rebounds and a couple of assists. And that's a guy who I think is going to be it's going to be tough for Penny to keep him off the floor as a backup big in a rotation that he says will only go 9 or 10 deep. There's a nice pull-up jumper by Tariq Shepard, who now has 7.
A very nice pull-up jumper by Tariq Shepard.
Shepard and Henderson both leading Lemoyne-Owen with 7 apiece. That's an errant pass. They've been rare today for the Tigers in a breakout. Gerard Wilson almost left it short, but he gets the lay-in. He now has 5.
Well, you want to see Lemoyne-Owen come get some points off turnovers. Bad pass by Dandridge.
Oh, baby!
Just let me be quiet.
Yeah. Oh, Duren, we're going to see an awful lot of that this season.
That's what Alo does. Alo is going to feed his big guy, the freshman, and the freshman is going to finish. That's what people expect from Jalen Duren, and that's exactly what he's giving them, a national audience tonight.
Kick ball by the Tigers. There'll be Lemoyne-Owen basketball.
I mean, you just watch it. Alex Lomax being the consummate point guard, and he just has to make eye contact with Jalen Duren, and Duren knows to go up and get it, and Alo puts it in a perfect spot, almost like an Aaron Rodgers pass right there. And Jalen Duren with the finish.
Lomax, 7 assists in this ball game. He takes a breather on the Tiger bench, replaced by Jayden Hardaway. Losing his balance is Lawrence, and Grabbing at it is, again, who's in the middle of it? It's DeAndre Williams.
That's what you expect from DeAndre. He's going to go down there and get dirty and be physical. He doesn't matter, but he doesn't care. But I also love to see the fight from Lemoyne-Owen because they're just not backing down. You're just not going to push me out of the way is what he's saying. I'm just going to move for you.
Well, you remember how Bonzi Wells played.
Yeah, exactly.
They are going to be just like Bonzi Wells on the floor, always diving, always hustling, being physical. Bonzi back down to nobody.
And Rasheed Wallace played the same way. So Memphis tough, DeAndre tough, Rasheed and Penny played that way, and Bonzi Wells played that way. And I'm pretty sure he's glad that his players went down there and got physical with the Memphis Tigers on that play.
It is still pretty astonishing when you think about who's here, a who's who of basketball as far as coaches. Hardaway, that's a tough pass for the big guy to handle, but Dandridge grabs it. And knock away there by Tariq Shepard. But with Penny Hardaway, who was an all-star NBA player, Larry Brown, a Hall of Fame coach, Rasheed Wallace, an all-star player, Bonzi Wells had a very, very good career. Lionel Hollins was a terrific player before he became a really good coach. He's not here with the team, but he will be a part of Lemoyne-Owen College's staff as a volunteer assistant. That's DeAndre Williams. Nice little jump hook there. He has 5.
Well, that's just easy money. I mean, Trevor Blackman and DeAndre have been kind of going at one another. And DeAndre is like, okay, I'm longer than you. I'm taller than you. That's why we hit the nice little jump hook. He looked at Trevor in his eyes and said, I'm going to give you some more of this the entire rest of this game.
First foul of the second half charged to the Tigers' Lester Quinones. That is his first personal foul. Tigers have hit all 4 of their shots from the field in the second half on a 9-4 run to open up the second 20, and they now lead it by 40. Shepard's got the speed on Duren. He pulls up, misses, and Dandridge with a rebound.
It's nice defense by the big guy, though, staying in front of the guard.
Dandridge grabbed. I think they're going to get Micah Evans on the foul, and he'll go to the free throw line. And it will be Micah Evans. So the first against the Magicians in the second half.
Now, Greg, we've been saying a lot of things about assistant coaches, Lemoyne-Owen, but a coach that Lemoyne-Owen has on the bench who's very smart and knowledgeable and a very good recruiter is Mr. Wade Evans from Memphis. Played here.
That's right.
His brother Ken played football for the University of Memphis, but Wade is a very knowledgeable. He's a very good assistant coach. He's just got to kind of get lost when he was talking about Bonzi and Lionel Hollins.
Exactly.
Wade Evans is there doing an incredible job for LOC.
Did not want to slight Wade, but my gosh, when it's a who's who of coaches, you're a little bit down the list.
Yeah.
Dandridge first one in and out. One more for Malcolm. Goes 0 for 2 on this particular trip. He had his first 2 free throws earlier in the first half. Earl Timberlake, Tyler Harris will check in at the next break. And that's going to be a grab on Dandridge, as it's called by Anthony Jordan, the lead official for today, along with Owen Short and Nathan Bemis. And here comes Harris and Timberlake as they replace Quinones and Dandridge.
Dandridge looking at Anthony Jordan like, who, me? Did I do that? And he's like, yes, you did, because yes, you did, Malcolm Dandridge.
Spin move, nowhere to go for Evans. Kicks it out to Henderson. 9 points now for Dejon Henderson.
He has a nice game, Greg. He has a nice game. He has a nice touch.
3 from the wing for Hardaway. 9 for Jayden Hardaway. He's hit both his 3-point attempts. And Memphis just torching from the outside. They're 9 of 12 from distance.
Jayden not afraid to let it go, and I wouldn't be afraid to let it go either when having the success Jayden is having shooting this basketball.
Oh, pretty drive by Trevor Blackman. He draws the foul. He'll get a 3-point opportunity when we return. First time out of half number 2, 15:59 remaining. The Memphis Tigers lead Lemoyne-Owen by the count of 70-31. Tigers dominating inside and out, 38-12. points in the paint, and from three-point land, they've hit 9 of 12 as they lead it by the count of 70-31. So after today, here's what's coming up for both schools as far as their schedules. They'll get their seasons cranked up. Tigers still have another exhibition game, but for Lemoyne-Owen, as you take a look at Bonzi Wells, they'll play Edward Waters next Saturday. Then it's Rust, and I know you're very familiar with Rust College, Mr. Holiday. Florida A&M on the 15th, Delta State on the 18th, and then Christian Brothers cross town here in Memphis on the 23rd of November. Meantime, for the Tigers, next Sunday, as we've talked about, they will play their second and final exhibition game as they will take on Lane College. And then they'll be ready to start the season on November 8th with high expectations. There's another three for Jayden Hardaway.
Jayden Hardaway is feeling himself right now, feeling really good, knocking it down. And there's that Memphis schedule you were talking about.
Tennessee Tech, North Carolina Central, St. Louis, and Western Kentucky all at home, and all games you can hear and watch, rather, on ESPN+. Tigers, their largest lead at 41. Nice jump stop, and the shot doesn't go for Will Valcine, who just checked into the game out of Boynton Beach, Florida. 6'2" junior guard.
And Greg, allow me to pump that Lemoyne-Owen Rust College game. Now, they used to play quite often. They're Rust College and Lemoyne-Owen bringing that game back. You got Will Anderson, the athletics director at Lemoyne-Owen, Jarvis Stephen, the athletics director at Rust College, bringing those two squads back together and playing each other. This is going to be a great weekend down at Rust College. Well, I am blessed to work down there as director of broadcast operations, so it's going to be a great time. Great two teams to be facing each other in that environment.
See, if Memphis played Russ, then you can play for the Doc Holliday Trophy.
It could, but you know, Dr. Ivy Taylor, the president of Russ, he probably wouldn't want to name a trophy after me, you know. But it's, you know, but I appreciate you, Greg. Thank you, sir.
73-33. Tigers once again by 40 as we approach 15 to play. Josh Minott in the game, gets the feed from DeAndre Williams. No look, and he's got the John Morant goggles as he backtracks down the court. Of course, the great John Morant plays right here at FedEx Forum for the Memphis Grizzlies.
That's a beautiful look, and I think DeAndre heard you when you said John Morant goggles. You said goggles? He's like, I got on glasses. Timberlake through the night.
Hardaway thought about it. Instead, he finds Harris. That's unselfish basketball, but Tyler unable to knock it down.
Greg, I think Jayden Hardaway was a little bit too unselfish right there. I know he's trying to get Tyler a bucket, but Jayden, you've been hot. He probably should have taken that shot, but I understand what he was doing.
I bet his father looked at him and said that. I didn't notice. I didn't look at Benny, but I almost would guarantee he said, shoot that ball, especially the way you're shooting so far.
But I understand Jayden Hardaway, he's trying to share, but he's, you know, just, and when you see right now, just DeAndre, I see you, but I don't see you. I'm going to cut one, and Josh, the freshman, showing what he can do. But that's what you see, a veteran hitting a freshman. DeAndre with a nice no-look, and Josh might not knowing, let me go toward the rack. Let me be looking for this basketball, because sometimes everybody don't be looking for it, but he knows that DeAndre has a chance to get him the rock, and he did give him the rock, and he finished with the rock.
John Camden back in for Memphis. Clavon Hilliard at the free throw line is able to knock down. Actually, it was Blackman who was able to knock down the second. Clavon Hilliard has checked in, and Jalen Fisher has checked into the game for Lemoyne-Owen. We were wondering if he would play. Good job by Henderson altering that Minott jumper. There he is with the ball, and he had it taken away by Tyler Harris. How about that? The former teammates at Cordova High School.
He had it blocked. Tyler said, you know what, people talk about my height, but you're a little shorter than me, Jalen, so you're going to try to do you like I used to do you at Cordova. And Tyler winning that battle, and I'm pretty sure they're going to have some things to say to one another. And you see Bonzi over there taking Jalen and say, just calm down and relax a little bit. But I'm pretty sure Tyler's like, yeah, I got you. So when I text you tonight after the game, I'm going to let you know I got you.
Blackman right back to the free throw line, knocks in the first. That's 16 fouls now against the Tigers in the second half. Only one against the Magicians. Malcolm Dandridge will check in for Jayden Hardaway. Penny Hardaway likes to say, and so does Cody Toppard when I talk to him, that they're positionless. And that's why you see a substitution. Dandridge comes into the game for Hardaway. You think, well, Hardaway's a guard, Dandridge is a big. They're very versatile. They can play a lot of different positions. Now, Duren's a big. He'll play underneath. He'll play the 5, even though he could step out. But all these other guys can play 1 through 4, and some even 5.
And that's the thing about it. You don't have to sub a center for a center. You can sub a center for a guard because you can do that. But you can sub anybody for Malcolm Dandridge. He is just...
That was a great pass. Dandridge dunks, and then he's going to get called for a technical for hanging onto the rim.
But the thing about it, Greg, even though they're calling a technical on Malcolm Dandridge could not do that last season because he was hurt. He had problems, but now you see just able to get up and go. He probably could have still been, he could have dunked on a 12-foot goal right there. It's just good to see Malcolm Dandridge back healthy and making plays like that. And I'm pretty sure his mama, who's watching, well, she's here at the game. I'm pretty sure his family is glad to see Malcolm playing the way he's playing right now, because if he continues to play like this Memphis Tigers basketball team is going to be even tougher.
Fisher makes the free throw, and again, what an amazing story with Jalen Fisher. We talked about it in the first half. Is from Memphis. His father helped Lemoyne-Owen win an SIAC title in 2000, played 2 seasons at Cordova with Tyler Harris, then transferred. He transferred, but he moved to Michigan to live with his aunt. He ended up playing with Emoni Bates when Bates was a freshman and he was a senior. We got a travel on Timberlake. He got the rebound, and then he lost the pivot foot, kind of stumbled around a little bit, and the Tigers turn it over for an 11th time. They have forced, though, 25 turnovers from the Magicians, and they have scored off those turnovers 28 points. So Fisher, Valcine, Hilliard, Dwight Murray, number 15 in the game, and Henderson. And Lemoyne-Owen gives it right back to the Tigers. Jalen Duren will check back in for Memphis, replacing Earl Timberlake. So for the Tigers, Duren, Dandridge, Harris, John Camden, and Josh Minott.
And think about this, Greg. You talk about the turnovers that Memphis has forced for Lemoyne-Owen, 25 turnovers. It's the fact that they're so long. They get into passing lanes, they can deflect passes, and a lot of their long players are sitting over there with sweatsuits on. They're not even playing, so it's just huge for Memphis to be able to have this kind of defensive versatility.
Both teams turn it over, and an easy dunk down at the other end by Jalen Duren. Duren now with 15 points. We saw earlier, when the Tigers turned it over 2 possessions ago, Camden with a no-look pass, but it was low. For a guy like Duren, who is an unbelievable athlete, you still have to get it to the big guy. You can't have it down at his knees, and that's exactly what happened there.
Well, he can do a lot of things, but, you know, some things he just cannot do, because when he's going up and you're throwing the ball lower than where he was, or you throwing it where he was, I mean, Jalen Duren is pretty, you know, he's pretty unbelievable, but, you know, he has limitations as well. But they're learning each other. They're still learning each other.
So Lester Quinones is in the second half. I wasn't sure if Penny would use him in the second half, but we saw him hit that 3 to start the second half and back into the game. Quinones has had a strong shooting game. Great defense there by Duren and Dandridge. Neither one had to leave their feet. Dandridge filling the lane. How about that? He makes the play at one end, hustles down the other end, and gets the dunk. The recipient, the benefactor.
But that's how
the beneficiary.
That's how you reward the big guy. The big guy makes a great defensive play. Then he has the wherewithal to run the court. So if you see him running the court, go ahead on and feed him and let him finish. And that's exactly what happened to Malcolm Dandridge, just continuing his great day.
Lomax pull up inside the free throw line. Alo with all the weapons won't have to shoot that much. And well, let's be honest, he's not a great shooter, but he's a great distributor of the basketball. Wow, the Tigers putting on a show. 12-10 remaining before this one's over. The Tigers in control. They lead the Magicians of Lemoyne-Owen by the score of 83-37. 6-0 run for the Tigers over the last 55 seconds as they now have their largest lead at 46, 83-37. In the meantime, the Magicians have not hit a field goal in the last 3:49. Malcolm Dandridge now the Tigers' leading scorer.
Unreal. Jalen Duren, I got that. But Malcolm Dandridge being extremely aggressive, playing some great ball to go with Jalen Duren. I'm glad we saw Jalen Duren because we know he's going to be the starting center for Malcolm. Malcolm Dandridge is like, look, Coach Hardaway, if you think about putting anybody else on the court before me when Jalen comes out, think again, my guy.
I teed you up there for a Malcolm Dandridge dunk, which I thought I was getting. Instead, it was Duren. They've been dunking the ball all afternoon. This one coming right at us. But Dandridge has 18. Duren has 15. Quinones 15 as well to spark the Tigers.
Well, sometimes all dunks look the same. All dunks look the same. Duren throwing it down, Dandridge throwing it down there.
But again, Dandridge, the healthiest he has been in his collegiate career. Oh, that was pinned by Dandridge, but that'll be 2 points for Lemoyne-Owen. He got it after it hit the window, so give Lemoyne-Owen the bucket there. 11:52 to play in this one. The Tigers in control. They lead this game 83-39. Not a big surprise when you look at the domination by Memphis, the 12th ranked team in the nation in the preseason Associated Press poll. Lemoyne-Owen from Division II and a new head coach. You saw Sam Onu there, and we saw him for a little bit in this game. And I touched on this story earlier, but it's really a neat story. John Camden and the Camdens are from Downingtown, Pennsylvania. That's where his family lives. During great feed to Quinones for the bucket. So they took in Sam Onu in the summer of 2019. He lived with them in Downingtown. Then, of course, as I mentioned, he's moved on from the Camdens, has married his lovely wife, Dominique, who is a player at UCLA, in April of 2021. But it was the Camdens and Sam Onu had that great relationship as Lomax basically goes coast to coast. And that relationship brought them both here to Memphis, so they continue to have that incredible bond like brothers.
And that's huge. When you're going off to college, you would love to be with someone that you already know, someone you already trust, so you won't be by yourself. So both of them being good basketball players and able to come together like that not only means a lot for them, but also means a lot for this Memphis Tigers basketball team.
Good outlet pass by Duren to Williams. Williams gets it blocked. There's the athleticism of Jaquan Lawrence. Memphis gets it right back. Lomax tried to save it. A little bit off the mark was Quinones with that pass, and he's looking at Alo going, you should have caught it. It wasn't that bad. You stopped. But what's interesting, again, just not to belabor the point, but Camden went to Brewster Academy in New Hampshire, and Onu went to the Phelps School. So they didn't go to the same prep school, but they're here together after living together in Memphis as members of the Tigers. This heralded freshman class. Again, Penny Hardaway able to bring in a #1 class, Doc, for the second time in 3 years.
That just shows you how the hard work that the Memphis Tigers basketball coaching staff puts in on the recruiting trail, and it lets you know the credibility that Memphis Tigers basketball coaching staff has amongst recruits and top players, that this is a destination place now.
Gerard Wilson got himself in trouble, a jump stop, but he had nowhere to go with it, and gets called for the turnover, the 28th for the Magicians.
Greg, I want to go back to that block that Jaquan Lawrence got on DeAndre Williams. They've been kind of going at it, but I like the way Jaquan blocked that shot out of there, and DeAndre looked at him and kind of laughed. That's the kind of healthy competition you want. No hard feelings, because DeAndre has gotten him sometimes, but Mr. Lawrence got him on that play.
Tigers have hit 6 of their last 7 from the field. 8 now on the shot clock. Williams with 2. He's going to have to hoist it. Pump fake, throws it up. I don't think he got it off on time, but the official said he did. And then Jalen Duren with a reach. That'll be the 7th against the Tigers, and that'll put Lemoyne-Owen College into the bonus. That's the first time, as far as the Tigers are concerned, that I had to talk about the shot clock winding down.
Yeah, because they've usually got easy shots, gotten into their offense relatively quickly, and got any shot that they wanted. So to see them pressing up against the shot clock is something new in this ball game. But also something else I just saw that I'm pretty sure Coach Hardaway likes. The Tigers up 87-39. Do the math like Martin Lauren. What's that? That's like 48 points. And you know what we just saw in this last play? Alex Lomax still diving on the ground for a loose ball. So the hustle is still there, and that's what you want to see from your team, even though you're up big right now.
Micah Evans makes the first on a 1-and-1, so he'll get the bonus. But also, as we talked about, you are playing to be in the rotation with this Tigers team. It's too talented to not go out there and show coach that you'll do anything, whatever it takes, to help them win. And Alex Lomax has done that throughout his career.
That's what he brings. That's what he is. You know, you don't expect anything less than Alex Lomax. You actually expect him to pump up his intensity, and that's what he's done so far, showing in this ball game.
Harris, good lead for Hardaway. He's missed his last two after making his first, but Quinones with a great offensive rebound. Minott had it blocked. Again, that's Lawrence. And that's certainly a bright sign for Bonzi Wells to see the play of Lawrence, especially on the defensive end.
He has that incredible jumping ability, that pogo stick, that explosiveness off the court. So that's what you want from Jaquan Lawrence, to be able to block some shots. And
that's what you want from him.
Mr. Guitar Man, you say rock and roll. I say blues. You say rock and roll, but Mr. Guitar Man, Lester Quinones with more string music. He's just really shooting that ball extremely well so far.
20 points for Quinones. He's hit 5 of 6 threes, 7 of 8 overall, 6 rebounds, and 3 assists. And he was on the all-NIT team. There's a 3 for Tariq Shepard. Shepard now in double figures. He has 10. Blackman has 11. Memphis turns it over. It's getting sloppy in the second half for the Tigers. With 8:14 to play, Quinones will check out. Earl Timberlake will check back in. And Earl Timberlake's interesting. He played at DeMatha High School. And I'm sure anybody who knows basketball knows DeMatha. Morgan Wooten for all those great years. He was a consensus 4-star top 40 recruit. Went to Miami, but played in only 7 games due to injuries. He averaged 9 points, 5 rebounds, but the injuries have really slowed down the progress of his career. And when he came to Memphis, he was still hurt. Now, the coaching staff feel he's 100% now, but we'll see. We'll see if he is a rotation player, because he has all the talent in the world to be an NBA player. In fact, the scouts love this guy. But he has to be healthy. He has to be on the floor.
Well, they love him because of not only his athletic ability, his body type. He's a big guard. I mean, a big muscular guard. Right. He almost looks like a football player, but of course he's out there playing basketball. So they're looking at the potential that Earl Timberlake has. And what I like about him now is that even though he's been on the court, he hasn't rushed or forced any shots. He's only taken 1 shot, and he's had the ball in his hand. But if he can stay healthy, he provides a whole nother dynamic for the Memphis Tigers, because he is great on the defensive side, as well as being able to show some offensive skills if needed. But Memphis may not need him to be that big offensive threat.
He's got great court vision. 3 assists, 4 rebounds for Timberlake. Henderson now has 11, so 3 magicians in double-figure scoring. And that's what I mean right there. Timberlake was looking for the drop-off to Minott. I'm not sure if Minott was ready for that pass from Timberlake. Turnover for the Tigers. The Magicians will have the basketball when we return. 7:41 remaining in this one. The Tigers are doubling up the Magicians, 90-45. Positives to take out of this one for Penny Hardaway, and maybe none bigger than what Malcolm Dandridge has done, as he is the healthiest he has been with his knees. 18-point stock, 8 of 11 from the field, 6 rebounds, and showing his presence in the paint.
And the thing about it is how Malcolm has gotten those 18 points. Of course, we've seen some dunks, but we've also seen that nice footwork, nice up and under, going baseline and going back to the beginning, front of the rim, just the way Malcolm has gotten his points, and just showing that he has a nice little skill set, and when he's healthy, he can put up big numbers. So salute to Malcolm Dandridge. I'm pretty sure he's happy with his performance today.
And again, no Landers Nolley III, no Jonathan or Chandler Lawson, and no Emoni Bates. You'll have to wait until next Sunday. Hopefully, he'll be making his debut for the Tigers, and we'll have it for you on ESPN+. Off-balance shot, off the mark. Timberlake the rebound, and that's another thing that Timberlake can do. Get the rebound and then take it coast to coast. He just left it short. Sam Onu in the game, and he draws the foul. The little guy Andrew Anderson tried to reach in, knock it away. It'll be called for the foul. That's only the second against the Magicians here in the second half.
And going back to Earl Timberlake, you saw his athletic ability. You saw what he's able to do, go coast to coast and shoot with either hand effortlessly. But the thing he has learned that wasn't a good thing is the way he dropped his head and kind of gave up on the play, even though the play was still going. So he has to try hard not to get frustrated. I know he's probably frustrated right now, but don't get frustrated and stay engaged in the play. Even though you didn't miss the shot, the play is still going on. So make sure you play until the dead ball.
One more for Onu. Boy, he heaves that pretty high, doesn't he? Get a little rain with that one. He made the second, though. Looked nice. 3 points for Sam Onu. And the Tigers at 91 have tied their largest lead of this one. They lead it by 46. And a whistle away from the ball. And that'll be called against Onu.
Got two big bodies going at it down there. Onu and Dejan. Onu trying to keep Dejan out of position, and Dejan trying to get in position. So class of two titans.
1-1 for Dejan. 9th team foul against the Tigers. Henderson has hit 3 of 4 from the free throw line. Has 11. Make it 12. Good touch from the big guy. Penny with the high expectations, no question about it. When you saw number 12 in the preseason AP poll, did you think it would be higher, lower, just right?
I think it's just about right, because even though you have a great recruiting class coming in, it's still a lot of learning that needs to take place. So I'm pretty sure the Memphis Tigers were not unhappy about being ranked number 12, because some publications have them in the top 10. So it just all depends. It's all subjective, but the only thing that matters is how you ranked at the end of the season. So preseason is preseason.
Timberlake and Minott not on the same page there as the Tigers commit their 16th turnover. No question, it's been a sloppy second half for Memphis. I guess, Doc, as a former athlete at the highest level, maybe not in the NFL, but I would imagine high school, college, you get a blowout game, you can kind of lose the interest a little bit.
Yeah, you lose your intensity. I can tell you, I've been in the NFL. I don't care how much you up. You better stay on point, because you can get hurt out there. But you can see if this second half is a little sloppy for the Memphis Tigers, it's because when you're up 40, you're up 50, you lose some intensity. But as a coach, you don't want your players to do that. You want them to stay mentally locked in the game for the entire 40 minutes. So if Coach Hardaway can point to anything that coaches players up on, I'm pretty sure that's going to be one of those things.
Another unforced error for the Magicians. Wilson stepped right on the sideline for their 29th turnover. Great feed from Hardaway to Josh Minott. And he can finish. 8 points for Minott from Boca Raton, Florida. 4-star recruit. A top 30 best prospect according to 24/7 Sports.
And not only a great feed, great dribbling exhibition by Jayden Hardaway, and great move again by Mr. Dejan.
And nobody will confuse Dejan Henderson with Curly Neal, the old Globetrotter, but boy, that was nifty going reverse. And then again, you can see the body language of Earl Timberlake. He's not happy right now, as he's committed a few turnovers here in the second half. Just kind of shrugging the shoulders a little bit.
I'm pretty sure he expects more, but this is his first game, the Tigers' first game. He just needs to understand that little frustration that you feel, forget about it. You miss, you turn the ball over, forget about it, because you're going to get opportunities to play. Coach Hardaway is going to give him that, so I'm pretty sure he'll learn that.
Good move by Evans, left it short. Tigers out rebounding the Magicians 37-22, as you would expect. Other than Henderson, really no size for Lemoyne-Owen, and Timberlake turns it over again.
That's the first time I've seen Timberlake try to force something. Obviously he's frustrated. He wants some points because pretty much everybody else is on the scoreboard but him and Tyler Harris, surprisingly so, but Tyler's only taking 2 shots. So right now Timberlake is frustrated. That was a frustration play, and as you see, Coach Hardaway sitting him down maybe for the rest of the game, but who knows, but he at least needs to compose himself right now.
You're right, Doc, and you can see it in the body language. There's no question about that, and you don't want any kind of negativity on a team with the high expectations. So I'm sure he'll get talked to by Larry Brown or Rasheed, Coach Hardaway, Cody Toppert. They'll get it all right because Earl's got all the talent in the world. That one was left short by Blackman. And then they're going to call a foul against Memphis, and that'll go against Onu.
And talking about Earl, you see him on the sideline. He's obviously frustrated, but it's the freshman, Jalen Duren, that put his arm around Earl and is talking to him in his ear. And I see Jalen pointing to his temple, which telling Earl, stay into the ball game. Don't get down on yourself. So, Earl, it's just game one.
Lawrence, high arcing free throw, misses the first. He'll get another one. Connor Glennon, one of the 5 Tigers not on scholarship. Glennon was part of the team last year that won the NIT championship. Walk on, sophomore guard. He's from Chicago. So you have the 4 from Lemoyne-Owen. Connor also from Chicago. Camden gets fouled, and he'll go to the free throw line. Believe they're going to whistle Blackman, and they do. 4:38 remaining in the second half. Tigers up 93-49.
John Camden trying to show everything in the toolkit. I've been knocking down jump shots, but I can also take people off the dribble, which was a nice, aggressive move and able to draw the foul. But what I like about that is Connor Glennon saw John Camden driving, so Connor immediately cut to the corner, anticipating a pass where he can hog up a 3, and I'm pretty sure he's going to shoot one before he comes out of this ball game. But John Camden, I love to see that aggressiveness he's showing. He's trying to show that I can take people off the dribble as well.
6'8", 210-pounder who could shoot. Solid recruit for Memphis in a recruiting class that is rated number 1. 7 points now for Camden. Tadarius Jacobs, another one of the walk-ons, has checked in for Penny Hardaway's team. Nice pull-up there from Andrew Anderson, his first points of the game. Jacobs from Memphis, freshman guard out of Bartlett High School. The only walk-on that you won't see today is Nikc Merriweather. And there's a turnover by the Tigers, traveling call against Jacobs. Nikc Merriweather, of course, is a great story in of itself. We won't see him again today. Son of the late Desmond Merriweather, who helped launch Penny Hardaway's coaching career at Lester Middle School. Of course, he passed away, and then Penny went on to East, and the rest is history. But so close, and having Merriweather on the team, it's like having another son. You have Alex Lomax, who's so close to Penny like a son. You have Nikc Merriweather. Of course, you have his son in Jayden Hardaway. He's a great father figure for these youngsters. Indeed. 3:53 to go before this one's over. The Tigers in total control as they lead this exhibition game over Lemoyne-Owen by 43. Tigers led it by 35 at the half. The lead now at 43 with 3:53 remaining. Tigers shooting the ball extremely well today, especially from distance. 11 of 17 from 3, and that's 65%, 58% overall for the Tigers compared to the Magicians, just 34%, 15 of 44 from the field, and 3 of 11 from three-point range. To the free throw line is Jaquan Lawrence. Lemoyne-Owen in the double bonus the rest of the way. And he'll knock down the first. Henderson leading Lemoyne-Owen with 14. Blackman 11, and Shepard has 10. Offensive rebound on a big rebound right there to the little guy, Andrew Anderson, and he lost it. Dribbled it off his leg, and that'll be turnover number 30 for the Magicians. Tigers now with 19 turnovers. And that will be a key this year. They have to keep the turnovers low. Another thing I talked to Larry Brown earlier today about. He said, I know that was a problem for you guys last year, and that's something we're really working on. That'll be an illegal screen against Onu. So it'll be Lemoyne-Owen's basketball with 3:39 to play. For the Tigers, Lester Quinones, 5 of 6 from beyond the arc, has 20. Malcolm Dandridge, 18. Jalen Duren, 15 and 5 rebounds. And Jayden Hardaway with 12. He's hit 3 of 4 from distance.
He has. I mean, Memphis Tigers, a lot of bright spots in this ball game. And I know we've talked a lot about Memphis because it's been a dominant performance from them, which is what we expect. But if I was Bonzi Wells looking at Lemoyne-Owen, even though they're losing big and they're going to lose big, the one thing he can take from his squad, I haven't seen his team quit. They continue to play hard. They continue to hustle, even though they're overly outmatched, but they have still continued to play hard this entire game. So well, that's a positive.
Doc, that was a perfect example right there. Anderson forced Camden into making a bad pass, and then he hit the runner. Shot by Jacobs off the mark. Magicians down 40-2:53 to play. And again, from what we have heard, the players that are out today, there's no serious injuries or anything of that sort. We'll see what happens next Sunday when the Tigers host Lane. If the players that are not dressed out tonight or this afternoon will go. And, of course, that's Landers Nolley III, first team All-AAC preseason. Obviously, Emoni Bates, the big 5-star recruit, along with Jalen Duren. And the Lawsons, the freshman Jonathan and Chandler, the transfer from Oregon. Onu had it redirected, got it back, score the bucket, and the foul. The foul against Jaquan Lawrence. So good stick-to-itiveness by Onu as he stayed with it, gets the bucket in the bag.
Sometimes it pays when you're bigger and stronger than yes. Take advantage of what you have, and that's exactly what Onu did right there. He's just bigger and stronger. It's not like Jaquan didn't try. It's not as strong as Onu.
Back in the day, they would say, he stole his lunch money.
He stole his lunch money.
Just took it away.
Yeah. Dan told him he got to bring more lunch money tomorrow.
Earl Timberlake's going to check back in. So Timberlake, Camden, Onu, Glennon, and Jacobs on the floor for Memphis here in final 2:20. Henderson back in for the Magicians. Good entry pass to Henderson. Unable to go, but that was a great feed from Jaquan Lawrence. Not a bad little crowd here for the exhibition opener, and those that have stayed through this game encouraging Glennon to shoot. Instead, it's Onu, and he had it blocked. I believe that was Lawrence. Jacobs got it back. Camden, corner 3. That's money.
That's just a good-looking shot. If Camden can shoot the ball like that, and the rest of the Memphis Tigers basketball players can shoot the ball from the outside like this, it's going to be a very successful season for them.
And, Doc, unselfishness, 30 assists now for the Tigers.
And that's exactly what Coach Hardaway was talking about at practice last week, sharing the basketball with one another, because it's not about it's about the entire team. So when your teammate is successful, they can be successful as a team, and it's good to see them sharing the ball like this.
Tigers reach the century mark. Once again, they tie their largest lead at 46, and now they have their largest lead as Earl Timberlake gets his first points.
And that might be the first time I've seen Lemoyne-Owen just let somebody get a free run and just sit back and let them not challenge a shot.
Other than Jacobs and Glennon, although we do have 45 seconds to go, the only player that has played significant time that did not score for the Tigers, Tyler Harris. Here's Jacobs. He scores. A 3 for Jacobs.
He's trying not to smile. Tadarius Jacobs is trying not to smile right there, but I like it. He's like, don't be happy for me. I'm supposed to knock down these shots. So what y'all excited for? Too excited for?
Collision. Glennon tried to take a charge. Instead, he'll be called for the block. 65% from 3 for the Tigers in this game. 13 of 20.
They've shot it extremely well. If this can carry over every game.
And again, let me emphasize, no Landers Nolley, who has been terrific since arriving in Memphis after having a great start to his collegiate career at Virginia Tech. So a guy we know can knock down the 3. First for Blackman goes. He'll get one more.
But the Tigers have to be excited as well the way Lester shot the basketball, because, he came in as a high-ranked recruit who was an outside threat, but he's really become more of a defensive and hustle player. So, but this year, so far in this ball game, he's showing that, he still is a threat from outside the three-point line.
Blackman tipped that one in. Tigers can now run out the clock. We'll see if Lemoyne will commit a foul, which is ridiculous to commit one, but they're playing hard.
They're trying to get Connor a shot, man.
Earl Timberlake and Penny Hardaway will say, hold up. And there is a steal. Wow. Blackman takes it away, and he blew the bunny. And I think it's only appropriate he blew the bunny. I don't think Bonzi loves that. I know you play hard all the way to the end, but when Penny says, hold up, no more shots, and you go in there and steal it like that, that's disrespectful.
Hold on, but you know what I would have done?
What's
the
that?
same thing. I'm not stopping. Just because you want to stop playing, that don't mean I have to stop playing.
You have that football mentality,
exactly,
Doc.
man. Are you serious?
Tigers roll 105-57 over the Magicians of Lemoyne-Owen. The pleasantries between the two teams taking place now as the Tigers will get ready for practices this week. Another exhibition game on Sunday, a week from today against Lane College, and then more time to prepare for their opener. Some final numbers. Again, the Tigers shot the ball incredibly well, shooting 42 of 72 from the field, 58%, but Doc, from three-point range, they were on fire.
Beautiful. Beautiful. All Memphis Tigers fans looking at the three-point. That says 13 to 20, right? I would do the percentage right
65.
now, but 65% from three-point range. So that's something I'm pretty sure Coach Hardaway is going to pinpoint and put that red light on.
They forced 30 turnovers. They scored 32 points off those 30 turnovers. Next up, as I mentioned, the Tigers in their second and final exhibition game next Sunday against Lane College. Andre Turner, the little general, in his first year with Lane. He'll bring the Dragons to Memphis. We'll have that game for you starting at 1 o'clock Central. That'll be Halloween Sunday, 1 week from today. The Tigers a winner, 105-57. For Doc Holliday, I'm Greg Gaston saying so long from FedEx Forum in Memphis. Again, the final score, Tigers win 105-57 over Lemoyne-Owen. All games airing on the ESPN networks are streaming live and archived on the ESPN app. This has been a presentation of ESPN.